Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the VAR You Serious podcast, episode number 12. We are happy to be back, Dad. How you feeling today?
Dozen episodes, man. Feeling good. Feeling good after the US men took care of business in both games in this
Did.
window. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. We were just talking about before the episode too. We're loving some of the engagement we're getting from you guys in the comments section, debating, talking about what we're talking about on the podcast, and I think that's what we love. This is opinion based. We try and use facts to back up our opinions, but connecting, chatting with other football fans about this stuff is why we're doing it, really, and for us to talk about it too, because we love talking about it. So that I think we've been enjoying it. Even some of the haters in the comments that I was just telling you about too, we like that too.
We'll listen to anybody. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the alarm, the whatever you call it, notifications, and keep it coming.
There you go. You sound like a true podcaster now, Dad.
Yeah, well, I had to.
You're knowing all the lingo and
Listen, if I
everything.
have to, I'll beg. Don't make me do it. I'll beg.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Yeah, every time we hit a certain amount of subscribers, maybe we'll do something crazy. But anyways, let's jump into the episode today. I think we have some fun stuff to talk about, even though we just had the international break. Maybe a few twists and turns here in today's episode as well. But Dad, we're starting off with one big thing as usual.
Yep.
Starting off with Curaçao out of CONCACAF, becoming the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup. And Dad, you brought them as an underdog of the week a few weeks back when they beat Trinidad, or maybe it was Jamaica. I can't remember now. They beat
Uh,
someone.
it all starts to blend together at my age. I don't know what your excuse is.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a good excuse. I mean, I hit my head on my apartment door handle, putting a rug mat down today. So maybe I have a little bit of concussed nature going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, Dad, what do you think about this? I mean, it's smaller than 200,000 people. I mean, tiny country in the grand scheme of things, making the World Cup here. What do you think?
Well, I think it's cool. You gotta love it for the people of Curacao. D- I believe they are smaller than Iceland, who used to be the smallest country to ever qualify. I think I have that
Yeah,
right.
by quite a margin. It looks like I'm pretty sure like over 400,000 people
Yeah.
supposedly.
Now, obviously, I'm going to state the obvious: 48 teams, not 32.
Yes.
So I don't want to take anything away. You're going to get teams like this now who probably, well, who would not have qualified otherwise, who are now qualifying, right? I'll be talking a little bit later about Haiti. You got to love it, right? I mean, the inclusivity, the excitement, seeing the fans of Curacao and places like that. I mean, you have to be kind of a Scrooge to not be happy for these people, even if they're going to be in pot four, the last 12 teams. You got to love it for them.
Yeah, I think it's just loving it for those groups of fans that get to dream and believe a little bit. I'm sure there's kids in these countries that, never in their wildest dreams could think about going to a World Cup because it's never happened for their country before. But now they get to see their people on the world's biggest stage. Not even arguably it is for sports. So I think it's just fantastic. And Dad, just a couple stats here on what we were just saying. Curaçao, 156,000 people on that island. Iceland is like 400,000. But here's the one that shocks me completely. And obviously, the U.S. is a huge country, but Colorado, the state we're in, is over 5 million people, almost 6 million. It's 5.8 million people. I mean, we're talking tens, 20 times the size of these countries
Oh,
that are making the World Cup, which is just insanity. I don't know, like, Dad, this is like a part of Colorado making the World Cup.
oh, it's like I think the population of Douglas County is way bigger than that. But anyway, um, it's funny when I saw you were picking Curacao for the one big thing segment this week. it made me think of the fact that the US, once again, great window for them with 340 million people. Like,
Yeah.
we're doing pretty well, but when you look at it in perspective compared to Curaçao with 100 and whatever you said thousand people, it's amazing that they qualified, even with a 48 team field.
Oh, yeah, I
Right?
mean, that with 350 odd million people, how do we not have, even with all the other sports, everything else that's going on, how do we
Yeah,
not have the 11 best players on the planet? I mean, how does China not? How does India not? Like, you think about it a little bit to an extent, like, how does this
yeah.
quantity not do anything? Is it cultural? What is it? I mean, that's a way bigger discussion, obviously. But Dad, another angle I wanted to talk about here on Curacao, and a lot of people have been bringing it up. Actually, Gattuso, the Italian manager, they got walloped by Norway in that last game. Haaland 2 more goals, but he was talking about how UEFA should have more spots into the World Cup. um, I think this is kind of a debate and been an interesting thing because some people are like, well, I want to see the best teams at the World Cup. But some people are like, well, we want to be represented properly. That's why we have the confederations. And, you know, each group gets an equal opportunity in a sense to qualify. So, Dad, with teams like Curacao qualifying, these smaller nations in general, Haiti even, what does this mean? Is this a good thing, do you think, for the product, or do you think it's a bad thing because less people may be interested?
Uh, I think overall it's a good thing. Um, Obviously, if a team like Curaçao upsets a top 20 team or something, they won't think it's a very good thing.
No.
Um, I will say I think that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Even though we love underdogs,
Yeah.
Curaçao is what are they? They're ranked 82nd in the world in the newest FIFA rankings. And once
And it
again,
goes back to our talk about rankings too. Like, what do rankings really mean? Because if we wanted it to, we could just do the World Cup by the top 32 to 48 teams, right? Like,
right, right, for sure. I mean, it's good, it's fun, and to let those people dream a little bit. I mean, they're going to get to dream starting now.
yeah,
Now, they don't have to wait till next summer and the World Cup to be going on. They get to dream now. They get to ride that wave for the next 9 months. The country, their federation, you mentioned, young kids.
absolutely.
This is going to make a difference for the game of soccer in that country. And so even if they get their butts kicked in all three group stage games, it will still have an impact. And maybe Curacao comes back in 4, 8, 12 years, even better, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's everyone's got to start somewhere. And we know, based on geographical history and in history in general, countries have started ahead of one another in so many different facets of life. And, it reigns true in sport too. I'm sure some of these countries are behind in terms of these other big countries, in terms of getting, soccer players developed and making a good team. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, like England and some of these other places are all islands too. They're much more populated, but it's an island at the end of the day, and everyone's got to start somewhere. So I agree with you, Dad. I think it's exciting more than anything else. If we had the same teams all the time, you would ruin the fun and the parody of it, right? And that's a thing we've been talking about a lot on the pod is parody.
Yeah. Um, why do you think a country like Curacao is able to make it? I mean, you want to give the players credit and all that, but what's allowing them to do this?
Well, I mean, obviously, we got to take the main thing here in that the US, Canada, and Mexico did not have to qualify through CONCACAF qualifying. I mean,
Right.
that opened up 3 spots, essentially, three
Okay.
automatic qualifying spots, because you'd assume if those three are all in different groups in the CONCACAF qualifying, they take the 3 automatic spots from CONCACAF. And then the other
Okay.
3 are open for teams to fight in the playoff.
Okay. Sure. And once again, that's great. I mean, I think although I think CONCACAF still only has, what, 6 or 7 teams in the World Cup, right? Even with the 3 auto qualifiers. Isn't that correct?
I think, yeah, it would be a max. It would be a max of, I think it would be a maximum of 4, right? Because I think there's only 3 groups, and the winners from each make it in.
Well, plus the
And then
3
the
auto
second
qualifiers.
place are playoffs, but I don't think I think there's maybe 1 spot between the 3 of them to get in, maybe 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm wrong on that. I haven't looked into it enough. I don't know if you remember. And I mean, it's different this year, right? We're
I'm
not
pretty
used to
sure
having.
it's 6 total teams from CONCACAF. USA, Mexico, Canada, and then the other 3 teams that
Oh,
qualify the normal way,
yeah.
including Curaçao.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I totally forgot, even though I just said it, how USA, Mexico, and Canada are already in, which
Yeah.
attributes to the 6. So yeah, we already have 6 in, but I guess theoretically, I don't know how many of those playoff teams can make it. Technically, could we have 9 CONCACAF teams?
No, I'm pretty sure there's 2 more spots available of the 6 available, and I believe 4 of those 6 are still for UEFA teams. UEFA's gonna have, like, almost half of the teams in the tournament.
Which, I mean, that kind of goes back to my beginning point here of Gattuso, quite honestly, being a little bit of a crybaby about it because UEFA does get the most spots. They do get the most spots at
Oh
the
my
World
gosh.
Cup. I'm sure it's decided somehow by a coefficient system, whatever it is, to do that. And, they've proven and deserved that. But it's like, you guys get the most spots. Like, these other countries fought hard against countries around them to make it. And you can't change the geography of Earth. I mean, unless we go back to Pangea somehow, I don't know how you're gonna, have Curacao playing Germany in the knockout qualifiers.
Wow, you're going in the deep, deep files of geography there, mentioning Pangea. That's impressive. I don't want to
Yeah,
get into this too much because we're obviously gonna have plenty of time over the next 8, 9 months to talk about the World Cup. But I was looking at the different pots today, and
yeah,
obviously the US, Mexico, and Canada are in pot one as co-hosts. And I realized I said, oh, who got screwed because of that? Croatia, 10th team, Morocco 11th, and Colombia 13th, not Italy 12th because they didn't qualify yet. Those
yep.
3 teams got knocked into pot 2. If I'm those 3 teams, I'm not happy because
Oh,
they're going to
yeah.
have a harder road because of it.
Well, I think if you're in pot one, you're praying to whatever God you pray to that you don't get one of those 3 teams in your group.
No, that would
Like,
be,
the
yeah,
last thing I'd want to see is Croatia, Morocco, or Colombia in my group as the second team in. Like, you're talking multiple group of deaths. I know they don't like to use that term anymore, but like the hardest group. I mean, you're looking
yeah.
at 3 of them because of those 3 teams being in pot 2. So it'll be interesting, I think, to see kind of how it shakes out. I mean, people like to say draws are rigged and things are done for certain countries, but we'll never know that. I
Uh,
don't think at the end of the
my
day.
point in bringing up Croatia, Morocco, and Colombia was that, like,
Yeah.
having teams like Haiti, Curacao, whatever, New Zealand, in that final pot of 12 teams, that's gonna have a less overall impact on the tournament unless there's some crazy upset than those 3 teams that we talked about getting knocked from pot 1 to pot 2. They have an argument to be like, "Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa." So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but yeah, super happy for Curaçao and especially, the fans, the people of Curaçao.
No, I think they wholeheartedly deserve it. So yeah, good on you guys, Curacao. If we have any fans from Curacao watching, congratulations. Come on the pod. Tell us about your country. I've never seen it or know anything about it. So we'd love to hear more. But Dad, in the light of underdogs, we are on to underdogs of the week as usual. Would you like to go first this week?
Sure. Um, I see you gave me a whole bunch of options here to pick from, of course. Being the old curmudgeon I am, I didn't pick any of them. But there were some big ones. I mean, you did mention, Iraq beat Japan, 58 versus 18. Venezuela, 48th. beating Mexico, who's 15th. So some pretty big upsets. Haiti, ranked 84th, beat Nicaragua 132nd. So you're thinking that's not an underdog at all. But for Haiti to qualify for the World Cup, that's why they're my underdog of the week, right? I mean, talk about a country that has been through hell. I can't even say been to hell and back because I don't think they're back. Whether it's political, whether it's hurricanes, whether it's
Oh,
earthquakes, I mean, it is amazing. And so I think it's awesome that they've qualified. I think it's the first time since the early 70s. So they have qualified before. It's not their first time like Curaçao, but talk about a country who could use a little good news, a little opportunity to dream about something else other than their current reality. What are your
yeah.
thoughts?
No, absolutely, Dad. I think you put it so well, and so cool too because that Haitian team is filled with players that a lot of them play in the USL Championship actually, and a few of them I've even met before from previous jobs. Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala, they both play for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks right now, and I think it's just so cool to see those guys get an opportunity to play some of the best players in the world. But I don't want to make it about the U.S. It's cool that it's part of that, but to your point, Dad, what a big moment for a country that's been through so much. Like you said, it's just like it's cool to see these countries that you don't think about on a day-to-day basis, but they go through so much, but they're living their lives every day, and they want these moments too, and they're getting them right.
They are. And yeah, they deserve these moments as much as any other country. Um, and I'm sure nobody there wants my sympathy or whatever, but I think
Yeah,
it's great. I think this will make a difference. Once again, it's not going to solve all of their problems politically and otherwise, but it's going to give them an opportunity to take a break from reality, at least during the tournament next summer, at least during the 3 games they play, maybe more. Um, I I don't care who you are. If you are a football fan around the world, you deserve that as much as England, Brazil, Portugal, whoever. You
anyone.
deserve it too.
And I think a lot of people think that way too. But yeah, to your point, Dad, I think it's going to be a rockin' party in Haiti, hopefully next summer. Watching those games together, hopefully some fan fests and things like that. But I'm hoping they get a win or something in the tournament. Same as Curacao, like would be so cool to see them win at the World Cup and make some noise, right? But we'll just have to kind of wait and see on that.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here for a second.
Yeah.
How much of an upset? I know it was an upset, but how much of an upset was it when Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in that World Cup?
Oh God, I mean it was a big one. Like I mean that's one of the biggest ones ever. And obviously, Argentina ended up winning the whole thing. So for Saudi Arabia to be able to say they beat the world champions, I think is a pretty crazy thing for them
My
to
my
say.
point is, could Haiti or Curacao pull that off? Like, I think Saudi Arabia, who qualified again for the World Cup,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were as big a underdog as Haiti and Curacao are. I'm not sure on that.
I mean, I'd
Uh,
say they're a bigger country in general. They're probably higher ranked in the FIFA rankings.
yeah.
Like
Oh, they are now. I just meant
yeah,
back when they beat
I
Argentina.
still think back then they were ranked higher. And like I said, just looking at it from like geopolitical perspective, I mean, that's a bigger country than Curacao or Haiti. So I think Curacao or Haiti beating someone in the World Cup would be one of the biggest upsets in world football. But to your point, Dad, and we talk about it so much on the pod, is football's a game of 90 minutes and you have two teams that go out on the same field with the same amount of players, bar any red cards, but you go out there and you play and whatever happens happens. So I'm hoping we see some sparks. I think the US loves a good story, and a good underdog story, so hopefully we see something next summer.
Yeah. Or
That's my goal.
even a draw. How about even a draw against a team from like pot 2 or pot 3,
That'd
right?
be great.
Even that would be huge.
Probably
Um,
wouldn't make the headlines as much, but would still be amazing nonetheless. Dad, I think my pick potentially could get the drinks flowing if they get going next summer, when they're in the World Cup. And crazy international break for this country. A couple wins to get them into the tournament. Um, I'm picking Ireland over Hungary because of a crazy last minute winner. We could have gone with a lot of different options, like you said. Shout out Scotland over Denmark. Insane finish to that game. We'll talk about it a little bit later on too. But yeah, Dad, Ireland, we could be seeing the Guinnesses flowing heavy in the United States next summer if Ireland makes some noise. And I think they can, Dad. 3-2 win over Hungary, who's no doubt a pretty solid UEFA nation. And this guy, Troy Parrott, I think in the last 2 games, he maybe has 5 goals for Ireland. I don't know if Spurs still owns him or not, but last I knew he was at Spurs
yeah.
for club football. But this man went on a tear, Dad. Hat trick in this defining game to send his country to the World Cup next summer. I mean, that's just crazy. And what a way to make a name for yourself, too, Dad. Did you see any of the goals or the end of that?
Well, I got to be honest. I saw more of the Scotland goals. It's McTominay with the crazy bicycle kick goal. Uh,
Yeah, and Tierney outside the box. That was a mental one, too, to be fair.
yeah. Listen. What I'm thinking is it's going to be so expensive next summer to go to a U.S. game. Maybe we should go to an Ireland or Scottish game,
They would
right?
definitely be the best time, I think, out of anybody. And maybe that's a generalization, but I think it'd be the biggest party of the tournament to go to one of those games.
Yeah, it would be it'd be interesting. But I mean, listen, this kind of stuff, all these qualifiers, like every day on Instagram, I kept getting an updated like bracket of all the teams
Yeah.
that had qualified, and it just kept growing. 2 more teams, 4 more teams, 6 more teams. And there's 6 spots left for some playoff teams.
True.
And once again, like we talked about earlier with Curaçao and Haiti and whatever, you know, these teams, these people, these countries, they get to start dreaming now,
Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
and you get listen, it's like waiting for Christmas, right? One of the best parts of Christmas is the buildup.
Yeah.
And you know, Ireland, Scotland, all these teams, they get to enjoy the buildup. And so I think FIFA, by adding those, additional 16 teams, brilliant from a public relations standpoint. Um, is it going to be good for the soccer? Well, that
The
remains to be
same.
seen. But it's hard not to get excited seeing all these countries qualify.
Yeah, and just the reactions, Dad, to your point, like on our social feeds, just seeing the scenes at all these places when these teams are going through. And yeah, I mean, it's just so exciting to see. And Dad, I just want to point out one other thing here. I could have picked Ireland from their match about a week ago as well, because they also beat Portugal 2-0 in qualifiers too.
Yeah.
I think needs to be mentioned. Or maybe it might have been a friendly, but still, I mean, beating Portugal 2-0 is not something to, kind of bat your eye at, right? I mean, and Troy Parrott scored both goals in that game as well. Plays at AZ Alkmaar in the Netherlands too now, and has 13 goals in 14 games this season. So he's on a hot streak. Let's see if he can keep it rolling into the World Cup next summer.
Sounds good.
All right, Dad. Well, I think after our heavy underdog and international talk, I think we're going to get a little more personal here. A new segment for us called Rank That. So each week we're going to be bringing some things maybe that we can rank, but from our personal experiences. And Dad, today I went through the archives. I think I remembered as many as I could. We'll see if you can catch me out if I missed any, but today we're going to be ranking the English stadiums that we've been to together, um, at least once. So I'll give you the list right here. It's the Emirates. Obviously, we saw Arsenal City, Stamford Bridge. We haven't been to together, but we've both been. So I figured I'd put it on.
All right.
Uh, Old White Hart Lane before the new one. We had both been there.
And by the way,
Yes.
love the old picture of us together at White Hart Lane that you had last
Yes.
week.
Oh, that was all you, my man. You sent it to me and made sure I had it. But yeah, that picture's classic. I mean, we look a lot younger, that's for sure. We've
Yeah.
definitely aged quite a bit.
Yes.
But no, that great memory right there. That maybe that plays into the ranking a little bit, even though it's Spurs. Then we have Loftus Road, which is Queens Park Rangers Stadium. Sorry, I almost blanked on that. Super fun time. Selhurst Park, went there not that long ago together. And then London Stadium, where West Ham plays.
Uh,
So,
you are forgetting one.
which one am I forgetting?
And I can't remember the name, but didn't we go see Wolves play? Was
Oh,
that
where were we
Wolves? No,
seeing?
wait. Maybe
We
what
saw
the
QPR play Wigan
No, I know,
in
but when we went to Selhurst Park and London Stadium that trip a few years ago when you were there working for
you went
West
you
Ham,
went you went to Brighton.
I went to the Amex with
Yep.
Brighton with Brian.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
wait, who's the team that Elton John supports?
Oh, I'm silly. Watford, Vicarage
Watford.
Road. Good thinking. I can't believe I forgot that one, especially because I think it might be the English stadium that I've been to the most personally. I think I've been there 3 times, which is
Yeah,
nuts to say. But thank you for pointing that out, Dad. Vicarage Road is now on the list,
it has to
so
be.
don't leave him out. But, Dad, I think you have the list in front of you. Add Vicarage Road to it. You can use whatever criteria you want to rank these, but 1 to 9 or 8 or whatever we have here. Go ahead. Or 7 in this.
It might take the whole episode to do that. Here's what I will tell you. If I'm looking at this list and being honest right from the get-go, the Emirates is not my favorite stadium.
Mm,
E um, Great place. I think for me, it's more that feeling you get when you're in a stadium, the atmosphere.
yeah.
Um, it's good. Emirates is solid, but just off just from the get-go, I'm not gonna rank Emirates at the top.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, I really liked Loftus Road. It felt like the atmosphere, that kind of true, it was granted championship football that year, and maybe that added to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just the feeling in there, the architecture, it felt kind of like I always thought English football should feel like when you're at a game. Whatever notion or idea I had in my head, that was it. And so I'm jumping. I mean, I'm starting at the top. But I mean, for me, it's actually Loftus Road.
Well, I
Um,
think the quality was still there. This is when QPR was kind of bouncing in between the Premier League and the Championship. So, I mean, we saw some good football as well.
I will tell you, don't want to anger your West Ham friends out there, but London Stadium's awful. I
Yeah.
Now, granted, you got me some free tickets and you put me up in the nosebleeds, me and Brian. So that may have added to my disappointment. But
I don't think it matters wherever you're at in that one though. You're pretty far from the pitch.
so I think I've got Loftus Road first, and I've got London Stadium last. And then
Gotcha.
I don't know if I can fill them all in. Selhurst Park was cool, pretty cool. We had good seats, but I'm gonna put that probably somewhere 6, 7, somewhere in there. I gotta say, we already joked about.
7 again, Dad. 6, 7 again. I swear you're doing this every episode
I
now.
didn't even mean to. Um,
I did
I
it
gotta
today.
tell you, White Hart Lane was pretty cool. What great seats right on the pitch. We talked before. I shared the story of the experience in general, walking in with security, the woman across the way talking about Danny Rose. We had just gotten off you and I with your mom and sister just gotten off an overnight flight, red eye into London and went straight to the stadium. The whole experience. I don't remember the score at the end, but I remember it being a pretty good game.
Pretty
So
sure 2-1 Spurs,
I
maybe?
know Spurs won.
Yeah,
Um, so I think I'm going to put White Hart Lane second.
I think it's fair, yeah.
I think I'll put Emirates third. So I've got Loftus Road, I've got White Hart Lane, and I've got the Emirates, Stamford Bridge, somewhere, I don't know, 5, 6, whatever. And
When in the middle somewhere.
in the middle, I'm going to put Vicarage Road fourth because, once again, pretty good atmosphere, but also my boy Elton John.
Yeah. You
Love me
gotta love
some
Elton
John.
John. We had good seats there too,
We had
kinda
good
right near the
seats. So
pitch. It's
there you
such a
go.
cool atmosphere. You're so close to the field at those smaller stadiums, which makes
Yeah.
it so much. I mean, like, we were, like, right next to the bench. I remember. You could see all the guys warming up, like, they were right in front of us,
Yeah.
which is just such a cool experience, Dad. But I love the list, love the reasoning. I think I'm gonna go quick fire here on this because you kinda helped me explain in my head while you were talking about yours, do mine. Because I thought I knew, but I don't think I knew. So for me,
New.
new. That's yeah, we'll make that a phrase, right?
Yeah.
Um, top for me, Selhurst Park. I thought it was such a fun atmosphere. Great game between Palace and Spurs. It was fun because it was you, me, and Brian there. The train in was a good time. The atmosphere around the stadium, just buried right in that neighborhood, really
Yeah.
cool. I just think such a great stadium, good setup, good fan base. I kind of like the little American elements. It kind of made it funny, like they have the cheerleaders and stuff.
Oh,
And then
that was cool.
yeah, it was cool. And then I think, the endearment, obviously, a little bit to Ted Lasso. I don't think there's a person on the planet that hates that show, but that's the one they modeled the show off of, obviously, is that stadium.
Yeah. And I got a picture here of us at those are our seats at Selhurst Park.
Right down there. Yeah. And it was a great time. Just loved it. So Selhurst on top for me. Then for nostalgia sake and being on the field, which completely changes the experience, I'm gonna go London Stadium.
Yep.
Because I don't think it'll ever be taken out of my head hearing the opening song, Blowing Bubbles. I don't think I'll ever like forget that feeling of standing down there and hearing that song being rung out by 60,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, it's a feeling unlike any other, and now I almost a little bit barely understand what it's like to be a professional player feeling that pressure before a game. And this was when West Ham had just won the Conference League, so in good spirits,
Yep.
and just what a cool place to be. Saw so many people and players up close. So that's got to be my second. Um, I'll put Emirates third just because we saw a big game there. I was still really young. We kind of got in a scummy way, I think. Not in a scummy way, but I think it was a way you're not supposed to do because those guys gave us their season ticket cards back in the day, which you were not supposed to do. But that was a fun time. That's
Yeah.
our team. Had to love it. Old White Hart Lane, as you said, great time, super fun atmosphere. Then I'll go Stamford Bridge at the bottom. I honestly was not that impressed with it. I thought the Chelsea fans were quiet. And
Yep.
clip it. They were quiet. They weren't that into the game. I'll just say it. But right above there, Loftus Road and Vicarage Road, I also believe is what it's called. Both of those great championship stadiums in London. Super fun to go to. Recommend all you guys going and checking out any of these stadiums. I think you'd say the same, right, Dad?
Yeah. And once again, I got a little more photographic proof. There we are at Vicarage
Vicarage
Road.
Road, yeah. And no
So
beard on me. I look a little terrifying in that, but it's all good.
you're just a handsome young fella. And then to prove to the folks that how much you don't love your father, here are the seats you gave me for West Ham at London Stadium.
Yes, because I had so much control at the bottom of the totem pole.
So just a little fun trip down memory lane. So thanks, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try and keep doing that with some other experiences and things we've done, maybe a US version of that, just to kind of roll back the clock a little bit. But that was a good one. Now we're gonna roll on real quick to our VAR You Serious week. We're moving this up in the episode this week for another new segment, so stick around for that. But our VAR You Serious moment of the week, Dad, kind of getting back into finances in the Premier League, but this is the league as a whole. And this is something we do in the United States quite a bit. The Premier League is proposing a squad cost and spending limit, like a salary cap, essentially, is what we call it here in the States. And it would replace, I believe, what's it called? The PSR, profit sustainability rules. It would replace that, be a more stringent, strict system. If you break it, you break it. There's no gray area about it. But Dad, all the big clubs are not excited about it, which I get. They're the big brands and the big businesses. They don't want this to happen. And they're considering legal action if this passes. This is going to be voted on in 2 days, Dad. So we should know really soon what's going on. But there's a lot of things this could help with, but also there's a lot of things that could deteriorate the Premier League with this. What do you kind of think here, Dad? Which way are you leaning?
Even though I'm a fan of one of the big clubs, I'm leaning towards I like the idea. I mean, of course, good luck enforcing it. They can't even enforce the existing rules.
I think
So
that's
I
the bigger thing, right? They can't even enforce it right now.
right. Um, you know, uh, still waiting for that decision on Man City. But anyway, um, right. I mean, like this is fine. The idea of bringing a little more parity in. There's a problem throughout Europe, right? Bayern wins Bundesliga almost every year, right? Barcelona, Real Madrid win La Liga almost every year. PSG seems to win almost every year in League One. Like, so I get the idea. It's the big six, whatever, pretty much compete. Yeah, you've got your Leicester City 10 years ago, but let's be honest. I mean, it's the same clubs, and even a club like Arsenal, hasn't been able to win it, and they've had the money to be up there.
Well, and
So
even the teams that get taken over too, Dad, to your point, they try and spend, but they don't have the revenue to be able to keep up and stay within the rules. It's like an Everton or a Newcastle where they spend all this money, but then they can't do anything for 3 transfer windows, either because they've had a penalty or because they literally can't spend money. Otherwise, they'd break their revenue share, you know?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's like multiple things. But Dad, it's funny you bring up the other European leagues, not being as competitive either. The funny thing is this is actually also, I think, something pushed by UEFA because the Premier League is so much farther ahead than every other European league in terms of transfer spend and wages. So this
Yeah.
is actually something to kind of close the gap between Premier League and Europe, the rest of Europe as well. I don't know if that changes your opinion on it, but just something to look at, I guess.
I'm always about trying to create more parity, more excitement for all teams. I think the first or second podcast we talked about, what's it like to be a fan of a team that you have no chance of winning the league. Speaking of a team that has no chance to win the league,
Never the Rapids. Yes, we'll
um,
have to talk about them eventually.
yeah, I mean they did win like 15 years ago. So anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I get it that UEFA's like, oh damn, like Premier League is pulling so far away. Can
yeah.
we rein them in, create more competition in the Premier League, and create more competition in the Champions League to some extent? But I wonder if in the end, like Champions League, would it really change? Would the teams change, or would it still be
And
most
it
same
wouldn't,
people?
yeah, because the top teams are still making it from all the other leagues. And at the end of the day, if one league's making more money, that's the other league's fault for not branding their league enough and getting it in front of people enough. Like the Premier League got ahead of the game and promoted itself to other markets, I think better than others. And
Oh,
that's why they're so far ahead, right? I mean, I think it's just that has been a big part of it. And that's why you see clubs like Sunderland, when they come up, spend more than any other mid-table, even Europa League teams in some leagues. They're spending more than them because the Premier League has the money to spread the wealth a little bit, which they've done.
yep,
Like, this is why maybe we don't need it, because Sunderland just spent over 100 million coming back up to the Premier League for the first time in I think 6 or 7 years, right?
right.
Like they're being given opportunity to compete. Maybe it's not sustained, but that's the job of the club and the players and the coach to sustain it and continually build your brand, be better, win more games. Like, there's not
Yeah.
really an excuse when you're spending that money. Do you agree with that?
Well, spending money doesn't guarantee you anything, right? And I said, look at Arsenal, not many trophies with all the money we've spent. And
Yeah.
so, look at Newcastle, right? New ownership had a lot of money to spend. And now where are they? 14th, 15th. I mean, they're down the
They did
bottom.
win their first trophy in a while. I'll give them that. They won the League Cup last year, but
They
that's
did.
not for their amount of money. That's not what they're looking for, right?
No. And losing Isak obviously has had a big impact on the team. Like clearly. How
Oh,
couldn't it? So, right. Spending isn't necessarily a guarantee of quality or, as you said, sustained quality. So maybe some kind of salary cap. They're not even talking about a luxury tax or anything. Like they're saying a hard
uh,
limit.
that's like I think I'd have to get a better breakdown of what they actually want. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
give a yellow card here, Dad. The description for yellow card this week is it's kind of a good idea. Poor execution. Do you kind of meet me there?
um,
Actually, poor execution.
I think it's so early that I don't think there's a card to give. I like the general idea. I want to learn more. I want to see how the vote goes in a couple of days. Um, but
No penalty from Mike. No penalty.
no penalty, no card, no nothing.
Love it, Dad. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, we'll find out in about 2 days on that vote, but there will be plenty after that, plenty of legal action as well. So we'll see what ends up happening. But, Dad, final segment of the episode, and good thing it is a quick one because we are running short on time. This is our new segment, Parting Shots. Dad, your idea here. These are our parting statements, and we're going to go through some quick fire questions, some parting shots, you could call them. And we're just going to kind of alternate on questions and see what we say and kind
Yeah,
of go from there. So, Dad, I believe you're asking me first on the first question here.
I am. Quick answers. I'm gonna ring the bell. I'm gonna if you go too
Well,
long.
and so if I say you say one, but then I'll go to two, and then we'll just keep going.
Right, but our
Yeah,
responses can't be more than like 15, 20 seconds.
we got it. All right, let's
All
roll.
right. First question. Is Scott McTominay a top 10 midfielder in the world?
I'd say right now, current form, yes. There's probably much better midfielders, but he won the league with Napoli and he's doing great stuff with Scotland. Love him. Top 10 midfielder in the world, Scott McTominay. All right.
Right?
Number two, Dad. Will the U.S. men's national team reach the quarterfinals in the 2026 World Cup? Go.
No. I think I have this weird feeling, all these good feelings right now, that we're going to get some tough game in that new round of 32
Yeah.
and that new knockout, and we're going to get knocked out in the round of 32.
Get bounced like all the other youth teams. Anyways. All
Yeah.
right. Go ahead. Your question.
Does Arsenal, those who are healthy, does Arsenal currently have the best team in the world football?
I'd say on current form, squad depth, how we've looked over the season, yes, we are the best team in world football. Will that sustain? No. Are we in terms of trophies? No. So I'm going to say yes right now.
All
Anyways,
right.
question number 4, Dad. Can Barcelona win the Champions League this year with all their star power?
Uh, they can, they won't. It's going to be Arsenal or Bayern. That's it. That's the answer.
It has to be, right? It has to be.
Yep. All right.
Awesome.
Next question. Who wins the NWSL final? Gotham or the Spirit? Washington Spirit.
Dad, you brought up the New York City Gotham on Underdog of the Week. They just keep rolling. They're in the final. I think they're going to win it again. They're one of the bigger clubs in NWSL. They've been on a roll. It's parody all over again. Let's go Gotham. I love it. I love it. Dad, next question. Staying in the U.S. here. Is MLS a top 10 league in the world? Go quick, go quick, go quick.
No. Although it's rising up the ranks, I would need to do a little more analysis, but I will say no.
I'm going to say on the statistics, it actually is, but that's fine.
All right.
Anyways, second to last question. Go.
Could 80% of soccer players be NFL kickers like your boy Harry Kane?
Yes, and Harry Kane was talking about this. I think 80% could be. It's a different technique, but the EFL posted a great video. I'll try and link it of players kicking from way far out and scoring goals, essentially past 40 yards. I think guys have the legs for it. It definitely could be a thing, Dad. And it would be kind of fun to see, quite honestly, if they could do that. But Dad, our final question of the week, we may talk about this more in the future, but current form right now, what's going on in the world? Who's better, Erling Haaland or Harry Kane?
Uh, you're asking me to pick from two evils.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland. Haaland is a beast.
Machine.
He's a machine, and he's unstoppable. I feel like
There's just nothing you can do to stop him from putting the ball in the net, right? You can't hold him off, and I think he's inevitable. Some people would even say
he is. We need to do a longer segment on this sooner rather than later.
that's a tough, quick fire question. But Dad, that cuts us off on partying shots for the week. That was a fun little segment, Dad. I enjoyed that. It made us think quick on our feet. Let
Yep.
us know in the comments, guys, if you enjoyed that one as well. I think we're going to keep rolling with that one. That was a good time, Dad. But
Yep.
this was a great episode. I think we talked about a lot of fun stuff, Dad. And now we just have club football coming back this week. Arsenal Spurs at the weekend. I know you'll be watching. I'm going to be watching as well.
I'll be watching, biting my nails because so many of our good players are injured. But we'll see how that depth works out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this will probably be the last episode before it. So everyone in the US, happy Thanksgiving before next week. You'll probably see the next episode after, but happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family and friends. And we will see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
Happy Turkey Day. Bye.
Bye-bye.